Lesson 10 of Within the Deep by R. Cadwallader Smith. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Lesson 10. Some Curious Fishes. Now and again that queer fish called the seahorse is found by our coast. A little brown fish with bluish-white spots and lines on the sides and tail. But seahorses are common in warmer seas, in the banks of seaweed where they love to dwell. You would never guess that these curious creatures were fish. The shape of the head and the curved neck remind you of a horse. It is also rather like the knight of the chessboard, or it may make you think of the dragon of the fable. But really, the seahorse is like nothing on the earth or in the waters. Nature has given it a special pattern of its own. Seahorses use their twisty tails as monkeys do, clinging to the seaweed with them. They swim along slowly in an upright position. Every now and then they seem to be falling forward on their noses and pull themselves up again, only to begin falling a moment after. It is fun to see them play hide-and-seek among the weed in an aquarium. Some seahorses are like floating scraps of torn weed. This, of course, hides them from the eyes of enemies. They have no teeth, but a long mouth like a pipe, so you can be sure they eat only the smallest sea creatures. To add to this odd look, the seahorse moves his eyes in a comic fashion. One eye may roll round and look at you, while the other gazes forward. As if this were not strange enough, he surprises us again. Mr. Seahorse turns himself into a living nursery. He carries the eggs about with him in a special pouch of skin. You will remember that the pipefish also carries the eggs in his pocket, as it were. So you will not be surprised to hear that these two quaint fish belong to the same family. We will leave the funny little seahorse and look at a very different fish, the sunfish. This remarkable fish often reaches a good size. Even near our coast, big ones are caught now and again, and in warmer seas where they are often killed for the sake of the oil they contain, big fellows of half a ton are quite common. This sunfish has a peculiar shape. It looks as if it had once been an immense fish of the usual fish shape, but someone cut off the head and shoulders and placed a short fin where the rest of the body had been. Above and below there is a long pointed fin. The mouth is very small and has no real teeth, so the sunfish lives on small prey, such as the young of other fish, or small shellfish. Far away from land these strange sunfish are met with, asleep near the surface, with the back fin showing above water. They roll along lazily, not unlike big cartwheels. The top and bottom fins are for balancing and guiding the body, which is moved forward by the fin which frills the back part of this odd fish. In the fishmonger's shop you may sometimes see that ugly monster of the deep, the anglerfish, or fishing frog. Now and again he finds his way into the fishermen's nets, and is also caught on the lines, for he is so greedy that he will snap at a hooked fish. Rather than let go of his prey, he will be drawn to the surface. Then he is knocked on the head and thrown into the boat with the other fish. Being slow and clumsy, the anglerfish cannot chase his prey, so gets his dinner by fraud. Nature has given him a fishing line and a bait. He has long spines on his head, so beautifully joined to the bones of the head that they can wave to and fro very easily. At the tip of the front spine there is a loose, shining strip of skin. That is the bait. Now all anglers know how a fish is lured by a shining bait. The anglerfish seems to know this too. He buries himself in the wet mud and sand at the bottom of the sea. Then he waves the long spine so that the shining tip glistens as it shakes in the water, until a fish swims up to see what it is all about. A sudden snap, and that inquisitive fish is inside a huge, toad-like mouth, well furnished with rows of sharp teeth. The anglerfish puts his catch in his pocket and begins fishing again, for he is never satisfied. His pocket is a loose bag of skin in the throat. This bag is always examined by fishermen who capture the angler, for it may contain a nice big plaice or sole, worth money in the market. There are anglerfishes in every ocean, and some live in the very deepest parts. In those black depths the little waving bait would not be seen, so it is made to shine, like a bluish spark moving to and fro over the cold black slime of the sea bed. Down in those awful deeps it is forever dark and freezing cold. There is no day or night, summer or winter. No plants can live there. Yet in that strange, still world there are numbers of living things, though we know very little about them. There are weird crabs, blind lobsters, and fish terrors such as are never seen elsewhere. In that darkness you would think that eyes would be of no use, but some of the deep-sea fish have great black, owl-like eyes. Others are quite blind, or have eyes like pin-points. Some of them make their own light, glowing with rows of little lamps on their bodies, each like the lamp of the glow-worm of our country lanes. Blue, red, and green these lights are, but no one can tell you their real use, or why they are so colored. The blind fish feel their way with long feelers, stretched out like the threads of a web. As there are no plants down there, these strange fish must live mostly on one another. And here is a puzzle, for some of them have great big bodies, but small heads and tiny mouths. Others have bodies like ribbons, but large heads and huge mouths, and some are such gluttons that they swallow fish twice their own size. This sounds absurd, but it is true. Their mouths gape open like trap doors, and their stomachs are made to stretch to hold their huge meals. There are other terrors of the deep with such big teeth that they cannot shut their mouths. No doubt the sea holds yet other weird fish which no man has seen. Exercises. 1. In what ways is the seahorse so different from most other fish? 2. In what ways are the seahorse and pipefish alike? 3. How does the anglerfish catch its prey? 4. Mention a few strange facts about the deep-sea fish. End of Lesson 10.